On this edition of On Record, another contract for Elbit System's underwater warfare tech by the Navy of an Asian Pacific country. The U.S. Air Force shows exactly what goes into getting the perfect fit of an F-35 helmet. And an inside look at the Israel Air Force Flight School. Hello, I'm Lauren Izo, and we are On Record. The Brazilian Army recently carried out tests for the Elbit System's Torch-X battle management system and E-Lynx software-defined radios for the Brazilian Combatant System Program, otherwise known as the COBRA program. The company's subsidiary, AEL Sistemas, performed the tests alongside Brazil's Ground Operations Command and the Army's Communications and Electronic Warfare Command. The demonstration included the Torch-X dismounted solution, composed mainly of E-Lynx handheld and soldier radios, Raptor devices, and the Torch-X decision support system. Soldiers conducted the tests in a jungle and riverside environment carried out by the troops of the 2nd Marine Company of the 1st Jungle Infantry Battalion and supported by a field team from AEL. The system was used by the Marine platoon coordinating a strike, a combat march, a local attack, and patrols in various environments. According to the forces, Torch-X performed well, providing a wide-spectrum operation, overcoming the jungle and riverside terrain obstacles. The tested solution provided full connectivity for the soldier level and all the way up to main headquarters. In 2017, Elbit Systems was contracted to equip the Marine Corps of the Brazilian Armed Forces with the Torch-X-based C4I capabilities. Additional customers already opted for the Torch-X C4I solutions, among them the Israeli Defense Forces, the Royal Netherlands Army, and the UK Army. A Canadian avionics company will modernize its Falcon 50 aircrafts with Universal Avionics Insight integrated flight deck solution, giving the legacy aircraft capabilities found in newly launched jets. Elbit Systems' subsidiary will supply the upgrades to the Mid-Canada Mod Center, including next-generation capabilities for its future air navigation system, data communication, and displays. The installation includes LCD displays, touch control display units, a data communications package, a cockpit voice recorder, and more. Elbit Systems was awarded another contract to provide underwater warfare capabilities to a country in the Asia Pacific. It's the 4th contract that the company published in just 2 years for the supply of maritime capabilities to navies in this region. Under the recent $56 million contract, Elbit Systems will provide the Seagull unmanned surface vessel, configured for anti-submarine warfare, and the TRAPS, the towed reelable active-passive sonar systems, to be integrated on board the customer's corvettes. The Seagull USVs will integrate long-range active sonars, be equipped with the company's autonomous suite, combat management system, and satellite communications, and an onboard torpedo capability. The TRAP systems are low-frequency, variable-depth sonars intended for detection, tracking, and classification of submarines, midget submarines, surface vessels, and torpedoes. During 2021, Elbit Systems of America has added to the company's maritime portfolio, completing the purchase of Spartan Corporation, which develops and provides sonobuoys for anti-submarine warfare to various customers in the Asia-Pacific region. The U.S. Air Force recently published photos showing exactly what goes into a perfect fit, explaining how each F-35 helmet is customized for pilots. Every helmet is custom fit during a 2-day process at a fit facility, beginning with measuring and scanning pilots' heads to secure the perfect fit. Once assembled, pilots need to have the optics aligned using a pupilometer, which measures the distance between their pupils within 2 millimeters of its center. This is so pilots can see a single image on the helmet-mounted display, while getting a 360-degree view of the F-35's external environment. The fitting process is essential to providing a seamless interaction between the helmet's advanced capabilities and the skills of the pilot wearing it. Pilots see a night vision image displayed directly into their eyes, thermal imagery, and video from below the jet, through the airframe, making it easy to track targets without having to look back and forth from their cockpit screen. The JFS helmet is developed and produced by a joint venture of Elbit Systems of America and Rockwell Collins. Unmanned aerial systems are changing the way the Israel Air Force operates, which was demonstrated recently during the Blue Guardian international exercise of remotely piloted vehicle operators. According to the IAF, unmanned aerial systems are remotely operated for a variety of missions that were once performed by manned aircrafts, saving funds and lives while the operator sits safely in an Air Force base away from the combat zone. In an IAF article published recently, officials say UASs provide an incomparable eye in the sky, can liaise with combat aircrafts, and help create secure paths for force extraction, while helping reduce civilian casualties. Similar missions were demonstrated during the 2-week-long Blue Guardian exercise, hosting teams from the United States, Germany, Italy, France, and the United Kingdom. The teams operated an Elbit Systems developed Hermes UAS. The backbone of the IAF's unmanned systems fleet is comprised of the Hermes 900 and the Hermes 450. The Israel Air Force recently gave an inside look at its flight training school operated and maintained by Elbit Systems. The inside tour showed the T-6 basic training aircraft purchased, operated, and maintained by the company, and a close look at the M346 aircraft used to prepare pilots for battle. The M346 squadron, purchased and maintained by Elbit Systems, uses the company's ground simulators and onboard embedded virtual training avionics to enhance training while reducing costs. Elbit Systems' training services and technologies spanned beyond Israel. Elbit Systems UK, in collaboration with KBR, operates and maintains the Royal Air Force's flight school. 42 training aircraft, including the Phenom, the Prefect, and the Texan T-1 and T-6 aircraft, were delivered to date. Elbit Systems was recently contracted in a $1.6 billion deal to establish the new International Flight Training Center of the Hellenic Air Force in Kalamata. The company will be responsible for the availability of the T-6 fleet, procure and operate M346 advanced trainers, provide embedded virtual avionics, ground simulation, and training technologies. Elbit Systems is taking part in yet another initiative aiming to reduce its carbon footprint, taking part in the Air France and KLM Sustainable Aviation Fuel Program. The company will purchase recycled sustainable aviation fuel used by employee travels. The company has recently incorporated fully electric cars in its car fleet offered to employees in Israel, and has installed solar panels on the roofs of its facilities, all in a continuous effort to benefit the environment. And that's all for this edition of On Record. For more updates from Elbit Systems, you can visit our Facebook page or YouTube channel, and don't forget to let us know what you think. I'm Lauren Izzo. Thanks for watching.